cultural artifact today. So Henry David Thoreau once said that when I hear music, I fear no danger. I see no foe. I fear no danger. I am invincible. I see no foe, and I am related to the earliest times and to the latest. That for me is the same thing when it comes to music. I can use it to relax and be free. And for that reason, my cultural artifact is a metronome. This is used in music to time the beats per second in melodies, instrumentals, and songs. So by learning more about the metronome, you will understand better music and how it works. First, I will talk about how the history of the metronome and how it relates to music, and then I will talk about how the metronome relates to me. So the metronome is very important to music, and I will tell you about the history of it. So Galileo Galilei is believed to be the first ones to come up with the concept of the metronome with the invention of the pendulum, which is a weight that is suspended freely in the air and it can move side to side. And then came a guy named Dietrich Nicholas Winkel, and he created the chronometer, and he is not the one that made the metronome. It was actually a guy named Johann Niesel who took the chronometer and added a scale, and then he put his name into it and branded it out. And Beethoven is actually believed to be the first one to use markings of the metrometer in his songs. So the metrometer, they go from 40 to 208 BPM, which would be beats per meter per meter. And so the higher the scale goes, the lower the beat gets, and the lower that the weight goes, the faster the beat goes. So this is useful for musicians who are writing songs or are learning to sing new songs, because they're able to follow the melody of the music and time each note to each beat that the metrometer hits. So I just talked about how this metrometer relates to music and the history of it. So now we'll talk about how it relates to me. So I grew up with a musician as a father, and he had this metrometer since he learned how to play music. I used it when I was learning how to play piano and flute. I don't really remember a lot about it. I forgot most of it. But this metrometer helped me when I was struggling to learn English. And I remember just thinking of all the happy times that I had playing with my dad and just watching him play, and I remember that music is a way to help you with the struggles. So I listened to a lot of English music when I was in middle school, from the Queens to Beatles to even Taylor Swift when she was like not even known yet. And that helped me learn English at a way much faster rate than a lot of people my age. And I was able to become proficient at it and be a certified bilingual. And that helped me become more confident on the way I talk, because I did used to get made fun of because of my accent. But yeah. So in conclusion, the metrometer, by learning about the metrometer, you understand more about music. First, I talked about the history of the metrometer and how it relates to music. Then I talked about how it relates to me.